Welcome to Nox Spellenzolder, and this time I want to take a look at the After Hours expansion for BARPIG, which is a game for 3 to 7 players, takes about 30 to 75 minutes, and this expansion can be played as a standalone game, but it can also be added to the base game to give you more options. It contains 10 new characters to play with, a load of new item cards to spice up the game, and there are several new ways of playing the game included in this expansion. The game I'm going to show you is still a prototype, so the final design and rules can vary from what I'm about to explain. But let's have a look at what's inside the box. This expansion, like the base game, has been designed by Jonathan Franklin and Philip Melchers, and we're getting a bunch of cards, among which we get the new characters to play with, all looking great, just like the base game, all kinds of different pigs with the play on words in their names. We get the alternative rules for the different variety games you can play with this expansion, and we get a bunch of new items which all look great, just like in the base game. It's some great artwork on these cards. That's what we get. Let's have a look at a few of the elements the expansion adds to the base game. For time's sake, I'm going to assume that you already know the rules of the base game. You get your level card with your sober points. On top of that goes the drink, the tab, which actually holds the amount of drinks you still have, revealing level 1 where you start. And on top of that you get your character, revealing the 10 at the start of the game, meaning you have 10 drink points to spend. During the game you're trying to level up to level 5. First one to achieve that will be the winner. You will get sober points, or actually you will lose sober points during the game, and you're going to spend drinks in order to buy cards, or if certain effects make you lose them. And when you reach -4 sober points you pass out. There's a slight variation in this expansion. Normally, if you pass out, there's 5 small steps on your card to follow. One of them, the final one, number 5, says you're gonna restart at level 1. In this After Hours expansion, that is changed to you're gonna lose 1 level. So if you're at level 4 and you pass out, you do all the steps that are depicted here, and you lose only 1 level, and you get all your sober points back. So that's a small deviation from the base game. Well, we get a new set of characters, 10 in total. Every character, as in the base game, has their own special ability, which is actually a sort of mini game, which makes this game highly interactive and a lot of fun. For instance, the Champagnon, he has the Detect Cowardice ability. Everybody looks down. The Champagnon counts down from 3, and at 0 everybody looks at another player. If 2 players' eyes meet, they both lose 1 drink and 1 sober point. And so all the characters have new funny mini games to play with. That's one of the things. Of course, we're gonna get a load of new items. The rules are the same during the market phase. You can either buy the top card, you'll draw it, you have to pay the amount of drink points depicted. So for instance, a 4 means I'm going to go down to 6, or I could take the top card and recharge. It's something you have to say before you actually draw, so you can say I'm going to buy, or you're going to recharge. If you recharge, you just discard it and you get that many points back on your tab. And finally we get a couple of alternative ways of playing this game. Pay as you go, for instance, I like that one a lot. It gives you more options. If you play pay as you go, you always draw the top card, you keep it in hand, and when you want to play it, you're going to pay the drinks, but only once you play it, and at every given time you can discard cards from your hand to recharge, so it gives you a bit more options. In Jailbreak, all the characters not chosen by players are put in the middle of the table, and you put the most expensive item cards underneath them. This time, during the market phase, when you buy a card, you can always choose to buy one of the cards in the middle of the table, and then you also get the character that's on top of it. immediately swapping it with your own character. Your character goes back into the middle of the table. You look up the most expensive card to stick underneath it, and you get a new character. So it's an easy way to swap characters, and you can direct which characters you'd like more easily. So that's a nice variety. We have the full bar variant, which can be played up to 5 players. In that game, every player is dealt an equal amount of characters, so you'll get as many as the game can give you. One of these characters will be your main character, and the other characters will be buddies. During the game, you can pay 1 drink to swap your main character, which has the ability that can be activated, with one of your buddies, and if you have to change or discard your character, you're going to choose which one of those you're going to discard. So that's a nice addition. And finally, they've implemented the drinking rules, which makes BARPIG a real drinking game. It removes the tab card. So during this game, if you have to drink, you have to physically drink the drink you have in front of you, which means that on forehand it's wise to define what a drink is, a sip or an entire glass. I wouldn't recommend drinking entire glasses, because that would make the game very short probably. But if you have to pay 4 drinks, you have to physically drink 4 sips or 4 nips from your physical drink. So those are some alternative ways of playing the game. But that's what After Hours has to offer. My question always is, will After Hours add something to the base game? And I think it really does. If you like the base game, you're going to love this expansion. And this expansion is also a standalone game, so you don't need the base game in order to play BARPIG. This expansion provides everything you need to play the game. But if you have both, you get a load of new characters, 10 new characters in total, each with their own new different mini games to play. You get a pile of new item cards, which can toss up the game in various ways, make it more interesting and give you more abilities, more options, which is great. And you get alternative gameplays, which is also a great way of adding something to a fun game. And a couple of these variations I really like, because they give you more control over the game. For instance, the pay-as-you-go and jailbreak, both of them allow you to have more options. With pay-as-you-go, you draw the cards in your hand, and when you have drawn the cards, you can decide whether to use them, pay the drinks, or you can discard them to recharge and get some drinks back. And that gives you more options during the game. And with the jailbreak variation, you can choose whichever character you really like from the middle of the table and pay for them whenever you feel like it. But it again allows you to target specific tactics or strategies you think up during the game, and well, I like that bit of added control. The artwork on the cards, as in the base game, it's great again. I love the way the various pigs are drawn, and all the cards, they really look nice and add to the theme and the atmosphere this game breathes. And finally, BARPIG and BARPIG After Hours is a party game. The game is made to give you a laugh, to have fun together and to interact with each other. The mini games, they do ask you to, well, roleplay may be a bit exaggerate, but you do have to do things, and if you don't like standing up or playing little games, shouting or doing strange things, you might have some reservations about this game. But on the other hand, once you get into it and everybody is doing it, you'll have a great time and a lot of laughs, and that's one of the strong suits of this game. Combined with the theme, the art and the easy to understand rules, it's just a load of fun, and the more people that are playing along, the more fun you will have. So overall, After Hours is a great addition, or standalone, to our BARPIG. It looks good, it plays nice, it's a a wonderful party game to play, and it gives you everything you want from an expansion. New characters, new items, new ways of playing the game, and to manipulate it so that it is more to your personal liking or the liking of your group. And that means that this is a game I can really recommend to everybody who loves party games with a lot of laughs and which take themselves not too seriously, and that's why I've given this game a 7.
Nox Spellenzolder.